What's up, guys? Welcome into Sensei and the Pupil. I'm Cray and I got Dev with me.
Hey, guys.
We don't have Paul today, sorry, but we're going to be covering the last 4 episodes of the One Piece live-action Bonanza.
Dude, they've been waiting for this. You know, we've been holding out on them a little bit. We've been
fucking waiting. We're ready to get our 27 views. Let's go! Okay, dude, so this last 4 episodes, from episode 5 to 8, is what we're covering. And we start right off with Garp attacking Luffy's ship. And we learn that it's his grandpa. That's how episode 4 ended.
That's how, yeah, I was saying.
It said, Grandpa? You know, some bullshit.
To be continued.
Yes. Devin, how did you feel to know that that's his grandpa?
I feel like we covered this last
Did we?
episode. Yeah, I
We
think so.
might have. Do you remember having any kind of surprise for it? Of course, I don't.
I kind of did. I was like, Grandpa, okay, that's a weird twist to it, but I wasn't.
But I'm here for it.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, it's his grandpa.
Okay.
It was just like, oh, it's his grandpa.
So you were like one of the crew? Huh? I didn't sign up for this. There's a because he's in the Navy. Okay, that's his grandpa. His grandpa throws a giant cannonball at him, and he bumps the cannonball back with a power that's totally established and real in canon, Devin. Okay?
Dude, it was just kind of, I didn't like how they gave it to us. You know, they kind of just, all of a sudden, I guess maybe he just thought of it out of nowhere. Like, yeah. I wish they would give us some of the thought process of how he comes up with these.
You want a Luffy training arc for his attacks and shit? Yeah?
Maybe not necessarily a training arc, but maybe just something to give us some kind of thought process into how he would think of, you know, these things instead of just, you know, kind of blowing up, you know, just kind of.
So just like pretend you're in a fight and then like just pretend you're a child. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Luffy.
Nah.
Gum Bell! You know, just hit him with his head, like just stupid shit, you know? That's Luffy. That's what he does. He just, how am I going to get this ball out of here? Turn into a balloon. He's a rubber man. You know? It makes sense. The cannonball flies back. It fucks up Garp's ship, and Garp's just like, oh no, we're stuck here in the water.
It's going to take us like a couple of weeks to get it right up and going again.
Yeah, it literally takes them a couple of weeks to literally go right down the road, right down the water road, that they go to the Baratier, the giant restaurant in the sea. That's a giant fish. And that's where they meet Sanji. Now, at this point, Dev, you have all the crew members here and present. Sanji, Zoro, Nami, Luffy, and Usopp. They're all there in attendance, even though Sanji's not part of the crew yet. Who's your favorite Straw Hat?
My favorite Straw Hat?
From the live action.
From live action?
Who you enjoy the most?
Probably actually Sanji. I mean, at that point, you don't really get to meet Sanji, but after knowing Sanji, he's probably my favorite one.
Okay.
Just because Zoro, he's not... He's just like, he's like this cool aspect, but like it's still like a fault, you know.
That's his only character. That's his only personality trait. You know, he's just cool. Yeah.
And then you kind of find out about Nami, and then most of the episode you're just like, oh, dude, she's just kind of really bitchy, you know.
Like throughout the whole season, you thought that?
For like most of the season, like, cause she was like, I'm not part of your crew.
Yeah, she was very bossy too, and she randomly for no reason like, stop it, you know, like they're idiots. Like, yeah, she is kind of bitchy.
And then my gripe with Usopp is, dude, during the anime, I just hated him in the anime. Like he was always
That's not
like
fair.
I know, dude. I know it's not fair, but still.
In the live action, is he better?
In the live action, he's a lot better in the live action.
I agree.
I like his character in the live action. In the
anime, early Usopp, not Usopp now, guys. Don't kill me in the comments. Go ahead.
In the anime, dude, he was just kind of like this annoying character, you know, always lying about stuff, and like he was kind of a character that would just always get on my nerves.
Right. He was definitely Nami's like bitch boy best friend in the show early on because he had no strength. Now he's different, but he's. I loved him in the live action. But, okay, anyways. They go to the Baratier. Garp calls Mihawk, one of the 7 warlords of the sea. Apparently, and they explain this real quick, back in the day, there was a big battle between the Marines and these 7 super strong pirates. Okay? And instead of having a huge destruction of islands and whatever and all this place destroyed, they decided to make a treaty with the warlords. They basically said, yo, you guys come and assist us whenever we need you to, and you can just reign free. You can do your own thing. Obviously, don't be taking over too many towns. They don't listen to that. But they're like, do whatever you want, but you have to come when we call you.
They have an understanding with each other.
They have an understanding, and that's actually really cool. Like when you think about it, like how you gonna in this world of pirates, you got new pirates come up all the time, super strong. If these 7 pirates would align together, they might be strong enough to take down the Marines.
I feel like they would. They kind of make it
because Mihawk's strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, because you can see when he calls up Mihawk, you kind of see his power, and he's got a power that you would like. It's not even have seen in this live action yet. You know, he's taken out a whole fleet of ships
with swipes of his sword, like just. He's different. Though.
It's unfair, really. It's unfair. He's broken. He's
Mihawk. And Mihawk comes to the Baratier to find Luffy and all them. Luffy meets Sanji, like I mentioned. You kind of get a little bit of Sanji's, like, I guess, attitude towards Zeph, the guy who saved his life, which we'll get to in a moment. But he says, they're kind of like father-son, like, don't tell me what to do, I don't want to do what you say, kind of, whatever. And Mihawk comes, shows up when they're all getting drunk on the Baratier, and Zoro challenges him to a duel. Devin, the duel with Zoro and Mihawk, what did you think? Rate it on a scale of the best fight in the show or not? Was it the best fight in the show or not?
I don't think it was the best fight in this whole show, just like as a whole. But it was really cool. It was really cool whenever.
Oh, it was so cool. It was
when he pulled out the little bitty sword.
Yes, disrespecting him.
Yeah, dude, I was like,
disrespecting.
Wow, like this little tiny sword that's probably like 1, maybe 2 inches long. You know, he says, "Oh, I don't need my big ass sword to beat him. I just need this little bitty toothpick right here."
Dude.
One 2-inch sword versus 3 swords.
Yes. And Zoro even did one of his moves too. You might not know it, but it's called the 1,000 Worlds, where you're spinning his swords around together, and then he swipes at the same time. In real life, it makes no sense how that would hurt anybody, but in anime, it's so cool, dude. He's just doing this. He does that attack, and Mihawk beats him. I mean, he even gives him the courtesy of slashing him on the chest because a slight cuts on the back or a swordsman's shame. Yeah, that's his creed, and he cuts him. He's about to, he should have killed him, right?
He should have.
He cut a boat in half from 10 miles away.
Yeah,
he was like this.
He should have died. He was on the brink of death. For basically a whole episode, right?
Episode.
Could have been maybe an episode and a half. It was for a while.
Yeah, episode and a half. Yes, episode and a half. He was dead. Pretty much. He didn't wake up till the next episode. But yeah, that's pretty much how it ends. That episode. We hop over to the next episode. What's his name, Dev? Arnott. He comes with his little gang of guys, and
Arlong.
And it's Arnott. Every time Arnott shows up, bro, you have like that little bass line that comes in. I've watched it 3 times through the whole already. So maybe you didn't notice it, but every time Arlong shows up, there's like a little beat, like a cool little R&B kind of hip hop beat that pops out. It's so racist.
That's kind of racist with
dog.
The fish people,
So racist because they were slaves too. He shows up to Barate, starts messing the joint up, looking for Luffy and Nami, and Luffy pops up to face him, and Arnott fucks Luffy up. I mean, he tries. He tries.
It really wasn't it wasn't a close fight at all.
Nothing.
It was closer than Zoro and
Mihawk. Yes.
Mihawk. Definitely closer than that, but still wasn't a fight.
He got a punch into Arnott at least. But Arnott, he throws him into the water, and then Sanji takes his shirts off and goes to save him. Devin, do you have to remove your shirt to go in the water? Do you need to do that? If you saw your daughter falling in the water, are you going to take your time to take off your shirt?
If you're like
you
jacked,
have a suit on, by the way.
If you're jacked, why not?
Fair enough. He was ripped up for no reason. Cool. The last 2 episodes are basically because at the end of that episode, when Arnott fucks up Luffy, Nami then also reveals that she's part of Arlong's crew, and that's a huge Arnott. That's a huge reveal because everybody's like, "What? What?" There's a tattoo and everything, so she's legit.
And she takes the grand line map.
Yes.
And gives it to Arlong.
Yes.
And it was kind of devastating.
Yes.
But Luffy being Luffy.
They decided to go and save Nami, even though she left willingly. Let's go save her, you know? And so, Luffy, thinking that he knows everybody after meeting them for a couple of days, goes to save his best friend Nami. And that's the last 2 episodes. It's pretty much going to the Konomi Islands, learning Nami's backstory of how her family was basically destroyed by Arlong. Her mother was killed. Arlong took over the whole village.
Coco Island?
Coco
Village. Right?
Coco Village. Coco Village. Arlong destroyed everything that she loves.
Killed her mom
Because she couldn't pay the stipend for them to all live there. And she became his crew member to basically buy the village back. That's what she wanted to do, but none of the village knew that. Okay? So she worked for Arlong, and that's why she's Arlong's crewmate, making maps.
She had to steal, what, 100 million to...
100 million.
Basically buy the village back?
100 million. Which she's a crew since she was a kid, and she got the money together, but sure enough, you know Arlong, he's not going to let you... No one ever leaves Arlong. You don't leave Arlong. Yeah, and then Arlong basically tells the Marines, who are crooked Marines, go and get this money. And they go and steal all of her money back. She's freaking out, bawling, crying. And she asks Luffy to help her. Luffy, help me. And what did Luffy say?
Of course, Luffy being the stand-up guy that he is, you know?
What did he say?
Always seeing the good in everybody.
Of course I will! He just fucking screamed at nothing. And, you know, that moment, dude, in the manga, is what was probably... It's like the biggest moment where One Piece changed from just a funny little manga to something that people really cared about. That moment right there. That's probably the first big moment that helped me, Luffy.
I can see that. Kind of gives him that aspect of, you know, the guy that always cares, you know, that Naruto-esque, you know, kind of...
I'm going to be Hokage, you know?
Yeah. Believe it, you know?
Yeah, like, I'm going to help you. But then, like, the walk to Arlong was way cooler than it was in this live action. He said, of course I will, walked away, and then you see just, like, Zoro just, like, get off this cliff you didn't see him on, just kind of walk him and walk behind him. You see Sanji just put out a cigarette, just walk behind him. You see Usopp get up. It's just, I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about the manga and anime adaptation of it, because it didn't hit it in the live action, bro. Like, look at this shit. I got goosebumps, bro.
That's pretty gay.
And that's when the last episode comes in. The giant fight happens. Devin's favorite fight happens. Was it the choreography? Was it just
I think it was. Although what I didn't like was how Zoro and Sanji had to, you know, team together to beat that one fish guy.
Okay.
But it was just. Yeah. I didn't expect. I didn't expect that much from the live action fight of everybody fighting each other, all the fish guys,
like the big fight happening.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
The people. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I didn't expect all that. I guess I should have, because this is the best live action adaptation of an anime.
Yeah.
But it really.
It just felt right? Like that fight, it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like just a bunch of guys running at you. Ah! No, it was right. Like...
There wasn't a big shark that, you know, grew legs, you know, and so...
Fair enough. Yes. And they were all going crazy. I mean, like Devin said, Sanji and Zoro were fighting the number 2 of Arnott. Sanji used special moves. Did you hear what his moves were? Collier! Moton shot! I know it's a French name! Ratatouille!
Yeah.
Just fucking...
Yeah.
Do you know why he doesn't use his hands?
Because he cooks with his hands, right?
There you go. Cool. What else? Yeah, we saw that fight. We saw Usopp go up against the obviously gay fishman, who was just giant lip, just... Listen here. I'm a fishman, I don't burn. Just spitting at him, and then Usopp does the coolest move ever. Yeah, but alcohol does. Just shot it. And he was screaming, yeah, Usopp did it, but nobody saw.
Yeah, nobody was around.
Nobody's going to believe him. And, you know?
it was very, like, Usopp fashion, you know? Yes. So when he goes to tell a story...
Exactly.
No one's going to be there to believe him, because nobody believes him, because he always makes stuff up.
Nobody.
And I will give... So when he did tell the story...
At the end,
he did, you know... kind of embellished a couple things on it, so kind of, you know, he kind of took the story to another level and made it kind of more unbelievable.
But it was okay, because he said, but I had a little help from my friends. Yeah, but that was the end of it all. Arlong fights Luffy in the map room that Nami's been building for years, like, with maps and whatever.
Mapping out, like, the Grand Line, well, the whole sea, the Blue Sea.
As much sea as she can for Arlong, and they fight there. And Luffy realizes he can't beat Arlong midway through that fight. Like, he's punching Arlong, nothing's happening, nothing's working. He punched Arlong the mouth, his teeth grew back. Like, nothing was working.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I'll just destroy everything you build. And so he starts breaking down the building around him. Just One Piece is great because it's not always just whoever gets the last punch wins. Sometimes it's also about breaking down your like emotional stability and feelings too in the fight. He couldn't beat Arlong there. He couldn't beat him. So he started to destroy everything he built, and that's what really defeated Arlong. Because when the building fell on top of Arlong, why would that building be what stops him? When this guy's flipping over houses, you know what I'm saying? He's super strong, but a building stops him? No, his everything was defeated when Luffy destroyed it all. That's my thought.
Well, you never really saw Arlong after the building was destroyed again. So
he didn't get up. He didn't get up.
You kind of only assume that maybe he was defeated.
He didn't get up.
You know.
Yeah. So, I kind of would have liked to maybe see like him swimming away. You know, I'm gonna get these motherfuckers. You know,
like the other guy from
Kuro.
Yeah.
Yes, he got away. And yeah, the ending of this was them heading to this island that you guys don't know about yet, but it's called frickin' it. I think it's called Logtown. And really, that's where the season should have ended, because that's where it's supposed to end in the show, but they stopped it right before they got there, which is so weird. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Nami's with them. All the gang's going out. Sanji's with them. Of course, he didn't go back to Zeph. Dev, what did you think?
Well, let me just touch on a couple things that we didn't really get to touch on. So we got an episode of Sanji and Zeph.
Yes, yes.
We got that background story, which was really cool.
Best story, I think.
Yeah, they kind of gave the whole father-son kind of aspect of their relationship, and Zeph saw himself in Sanji.
Yes.
And that caused him to kind of raise Sanji and kind of hope that Sanji would achieve his dream of going to
the All Blue.
Yeah, the All Blue, which is like the.
It's basically just the ocean, but all together. Because right now the ocean's split in 4 parts because of the big wall.
Yeah, so he just wanted Sanji to realize his dream because Zeph never got to.
Yes, and that backstory, bro. Zeph gave him all the food, and Sanji ate it all after 79 days, 71 days, and Zeph was still alive.
Cause he ate his foot.
He ate his whole leg.
His leg,
his whole damn leg. He
like
ate
knee down. And
he just sat there like a just stoic and badass. He's like, "Why'd you give me all the food?" So Sanji's like, and he's just sitting there, because you want to find the All Blue too. And I was like, "Oh fuck, man."
Yeah, so that was a nice backstory, also, right?
Was that your favorite moment in these 4 episodes?
It probably was.
That's
to be honest with you,
backstory.
whenever I was kind of getting frustrated because they were apart for a while, and like they kind of he told him, "Hey, go stay on that side of the rock and don't come until you see a ship." Yeah. So this whole time you're thinking, "Man, dude, this guy's kind of an asshole. Is this guy even still there? Like this dude might have already found a ship and gotten away." So when he goes back over there to kind of he was gonna go sneak his food, or he's gonna go take his food.
Yeah.
You kind of really you see like a rock where there's blood all over it, and then you kind of see
full of like.
He goes to the bag, dumps the bag out, and it's just full.
It's
just full of like gold and different like.
No food
at all. So you kind of realize like the kind of guy Zeph was at that point.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
So I just wanted to touch on that one.
Hey, that's fair. That's going off of best moments then, because that was a fucking great moment. It was either that backstory for me, or Mihawk's fight. Like, Mihawk's entrance for me was like just... Like, I just never expected to see anything like that on live action. Just never did. Dev, go ahead.
Oh, another one. Nami's backstory where her mom dies right in front of her. And then, it kind of gives her... her kind of makes her story, so that part really makes
her not so like deplorable. Like it makes her not so, because she was kind of
not seem so bitchy,
Yeah, she's not so bitchy. Yes.
Sorry, as a girl, you gotta use bitchy.
Who was your favorite character in the show?
My favorite character in this whole show would probably.
Oh wait, I asked you. You said Sanji, right?
You told me all the Straw Hat Pirates.
Gotcha.
So yeah, Sanji was. He was. Like the whole kicking, like and using like little French words and everything, I I kind of like laughed at that moment. I was like, dude, what is this guy doing?
And Sanji's super pervy in the manga and anime. He's super pervy, but they dialed it back. But you can kind of see it.
He's not really so pervy, but he's like a kind of almost like a womanizing kind of.
Yeah, he's
like,
definitely shooting his shot every chance he gets, which I appreciate. Appreciate that. Every girl he saw is like, yo, I see why she's as beautiful as Nami. I'm like, dude, she's black. She's not anything like.
It's not really her sister.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I see with the resemblance. Shut up, bro. That's a terrible shot, dog. But that's Sanji. Favorite character is probably Mihawk. I just loved Mihawk in this so much, dude. I just never.
Oh, and we didn't get to mention the aspect of Mihawk. Originally, Mihawk was sent after Luffy, and after he meets Luffy, he kind of has this realization that there's something great about this kid.
Yeah, he said,
So whenever Garp, calls him back, he's like, "Hey, where's Luffy at? What have we had an agreement? You're supposed to, you're supposed to do this for me because this was our agreement." And he was like, "There's something great about that kid.
I want to see what happened.
And I want to see it."
That was cool.
And then also him going back to Shanks and kind of telling Shanks about it.
I forgot about that.
That was another moment right there. Where
yes, at the very near the end, Mihawk goes up and finds Shanks on an island. This is straight from the manga, dog. This is like the big hype moment before they go to the Grand Line. This is the big end of chapter moment, and Mihawk does the same shit. Hey, this kid's really blown up that you told me about with the straw hat. And then Shanks goes crazy, but you can't see him in that scene in the manga.
It's so cool. It's cool because you're like, okay, this guy, Luffy gets his respects right there.
Yes, people know him.
So that was really cool to see, and they also teased a Shanks and Mihawk, fight. He's like, "You want to do it one more time?" They kind of tease that.
Well, don't get too excited for that.
Oh well, dude,
you'll never see that.
Okay.
We're waiting to see it after 20 years. Yeah, we're waiting to see that. Guys, oh no, you know what? Favorite character. What are we rating this thing, Dev?
Hey,
you don't have to rate it to just other anime live action.
As far as the live action goes, dude, it's a 10 out of 10.
Okay, yeah.
It's a 10 out of 10. This is the best live action I've ever seen.
Yes.
We've watched Death Note live action. Yeah. I don't know if we reviewed it. We watched Death Note.
We did review it. Yeah, it was bad.
Cowboy Bebop. We just finished the other Zom 100. Mm-hmm. We finished that one. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's a couple in there that we're forgetting, but this one takes the cake. I can't imagine another anime adaptation of live action beating this one. And I'm not even a One Piece a watcher all the way through. I watched basically the first 4 episodes of live action is what I've seen in the anime. In this live action, it felt like I didn't want to put it down.
Hey, that's why we wanted you to review this thing over me and Paul. So that's good. So yeah, 10 out of 10 live action just for a show. I've watched it 3 times now, and I've found all the my issues with it, and I do have a few issues with it just because I'm a fucking a diehard fan. I'm gonna give it an 8 for a show. I really enjoyed it, all the way through. I really even the Kuro part and Usopp part that kind of got boring after watching it again. On the 3rd time watching it, I was like, I appreciate this. I really liked it all. So I'm gonna give it an 8, not quite a 9. I don't think it's crazy good, but for a live action 10 show, 8. What do you think for just a regular show? If you compare this to what's a show you like? What's a TV show you like? Compare it to that. What do you think?
I really don't watch too many TV shows. I just watch a bunch of anime. I mean, if you want to call it football TV show.
Compare this to a Cowboys game.
Well,
it's a 7.
It doesn't break my heart.
There you go. Guys, we are Sissy and the Pupil. Paul's not here this time. He will be back next time. We love y'all. If y'all want more One Piece content, let us know in the comments. I'm Cray. I'm a Dev always. And we out.